Hey everybody, it's Jason with On the Play Games, and welcome Star Wars and Magic the Gathering players alike. This week is week 1 of July, and just like the end of June, we have two worlds colliding in a major way. This weekend is the pre-release weekend for Star Wars 5th set, Legends of the Force, and we have two major regional championship qualifiers happening this weekend that we want to talk about. So let's take a look at those slides. The first one we're going to look at is the latest information for Star Wars Unlimited Legends of the Force. As you can see, I was a little bit rushed to get this video out, so this is a one-taker. July the 3rd, tomorrow night, final round, dropped about 5 hours ago, maybe 5.5 hours ago, that they are doing a 6 p.m. They did not put the fee for entry, so that is a little teaser they left for us, and to be announced is what I've got there. Matter of fact, all the things that I am talking about with final rounds events are TBAs right now for their entry fees. I just don't have that information. It may be somewhere on the internet or Discord. I just have not been able to find it on their Facebook page or their Discord page, but I am an old geezer, so it may have slipped past me. If you know, then please post either in our Discord and or comment down in the comment sections below. That would be very helpful for helping our players plan out the crunch on the wallet, purse, whatever you're carrying. It is the end of Pride Month, but Pride goes on. So anyway, this is going to be the first event tomorrow night, 6 p.m. And I do plan to try to make this. Then we jump to Saturday, the 5th. Final round is going to be doing at 2 p.m., which gives it a nice spread between that event and the 6 p.m. event that we're going to have at Animal House Cards. There is a pretty good reason why they went with 2 p.m. and I don't know. They probably could have gone with 1 p.m. at final round and been fine, but they went with 2 p.m., so that's good. Gives us enough space to where we can crack some packs, get a couple rounds of plays, games in, and then go ahead and head on home, or head over to Animal House. So that being at 6 p.m. is a $30 entry fee. From what I understand, all these shops are going to collect fees at these shops. Don't worry about going through melee.gg, even though you will see the events there, and we'll use Melee for at least Animal House and probably Synergy Gamers events. I don't know what final round is going to use for theirs, but I could help them with melee.gg if they wanted to do that. It's not that hard to do and deal with. It's a little bit of a pain, but it can be worked around. But nonetheless, it does track points, and that's kind of important to some players. The July 6th, Synergy Gamers, big kudos to them. They moved their Saturday event to the 6th that they were going to do at Somerville to kind of lessen the bunch that was going on July 5th. This is going to be a noon event at the Somerville shop, and then they're going to do a 5 o'clocker at the main Goose Creek Synergy Gamers shop. So they're knocking out both theirs on Sunday the 6th, and you can see they're doing a $30 entry fee. So very excited that these shops were, one, willing to move some things around. Got to give Cat and Synergy Gamers their credit for moving things around. And I'm very thankful that Jacob didn't drop the July 5th event any closer to 6 p.m. So thank you if you were looking out for that, Jacob. Thank you very much for doing that. But the Thursday night event, that one's going to be pretty interesting. All right, so next is going to be the Magic players. Magic, Saturday is going to be your day, guys. You get a noon event at Somerville, Synergy Gamers Somerville. It's a $35 entry fee from what I've seen online. Remember, again, everything's up to change. This, I could be wrong about some of this information. If I am, I apologize. But this is just a guide. But what I have seen is a $35 entry fee. It starts at noon, and there's just enough space between the final round event at 3 and the noon event at Synergy Gamers that if you go X and 1, X and 2, you can go ahead and move on over to the final round game, and you may have an advantage there because the more competitive players are the ones that are doing better are still battling it out at the Energy Gamers Somerville event, while you slip on over to Final Round and jump in there and may have an advantage there. So be sure to check that out. I know Markel is judging at least one of them. I believe he's doing the Somerville event. So if you want to reach out to him about the entry fee, that could possibly get you some answers there, or just touch base with the shop. Hopefully one of the workers at the shop will be able to tell you what the entry fee is there. But with that said, Saturday is going to be a wild day in the shop, and that's just 2 TCGs. I mean, just these 2 slides right here show you how crazy. I mean, just that Saturday, 1, 2, 3, 4 events. How crazy it can be for these shops to try to set up events so that they're not stepping on each other's toes, because when they do, they divide the players, of Charleston, and they don't get the turnouts because players are going, different shops at the same time. And they have to do it not just with these 2 trading card games, which Star Wars is small compared to Magic the Gathering, but recently we've had regional championship qualifiers, RCQs, that have been firing for like 16 players, 14 players, 17 players, and having big cash prizes attached to them, and pins and all the goodies. And that's crazy. That's crazy. So we need to make a little bit more of an effort to try to coordinate that. And that really is the platform that OTPG is trying to create. That's why there's an owner's channel. That's why I invite the owners and the tournament organizers to use that as a platform to communicate with each other. It's a neutral ground. I don't charge anything. I don't make any money off of it. I'm just trying to help create a way where we can get the players to kind of, go check out each other's shops, play at each other's events. Everybody's going to have their favorite shop. I'm not trying to tell you to turn away from your favorite shop, okay? If you love Final Round, you have just cause to love Final Round, okay? It's a great shop. Jacob's a great guy. Thomas is a great guy. I've personally donated to Thomas and his family when tragedy struck them. I care about these people, but I also go to 4 other game shops and play. So, it's not about just sitting in one corner and watching my block. It's about moving so that there can be more players turning out for events. Getting out to the events is what's important. Okay? Because when these shops can show that they have more players showing for events, then they have the ability to show to the distributors and to the makers of the games that they can draw a crowd. Then that helps them in their status. It helps them when they're getting their pre-release kits and their pre-release orders and all. There's just so many things that grow when the players move to a different shop and check it out and play in these events. So let's just look at the slide for the Star Wars Unlimited, if you're a Star Wars player. Okay? You may love Final Round, and that's great. But don't skip out on Animal House, because Animal House is trying to create another opportunity that would allow you to play in a showdown. Get another chance to get some of those promo cards later on. All right? And that can be important in getting a play set of that promo card, of whatever it's going to be. By the way, they haven't announced what the promo card is yet, to my knowledge. Going to Energy Gamers later is an important thing to do to get that, whether it's the Somerville shop because you like that one better, or the main one because you like that one better, going there and showing that they can bring a crowd helps them help us, And there is a shop that we don't have represented here that we're probably by the end of July going to be making an announcement of trying to bring them back into the Star Wars fold. And we're going to have to work with some of the other shops to make room for them. to get a spot for them. All right, and that's we'll be working on that, and those announcements will come at a later time. And then when you look at the Magic, again, you can see just how easy it is to end up in a situation where, you know, these guys could have dropped these two events right on top of each other, not only completely split the player base, but also been fighting over the judges in a really bad way. Now, thankfully, we got a lot of good judges in the Charleston area. These shops have kind of homegrown their own. But we have Xenergy players that wear the Xenergy shirt that are going to be judging at other events, and they can't play in the one over at, you know, they could be a final round judging, or they could be at Xenergy playing, or they can vice versa, you know. So, you know, trying to spread it out a little bit allows for the players to be able to go to both events, and both events fire well. And that's what you want. You want the collaborative spirit. You want the players to move to the events, the different shops. You don't have to buy out the shop. Okay, I'm not asking you to spend all your money at a shop that you don't see as like your home personal shop. I mean, picking up a pack of cards, you know, a pack of sleeves might be nice if you need them. But, you know, go to the events. Meet new people that you might not meet at your home shop, you know, and that mix, it helps. Just trust me. As someone who tries to bring players together, it helps. So anyway, off that stool, sorry, got on my soapbox, but I just want to put it out there because there are some players that I only see at certain shops. And it doesn't do whatever game you're playing. It does not do that community any good to just play in events at one shop. It actually is a detriment to that community over time. All right? And it limits your options to play later on. Because when you limit the options for your community, eventually the community starts to fall apart, and now you don't have a place to play, and things start fading away. Okay? It's not very hard. I went up the final round to play on Tuesday. I was the only one there. Okay? That's how quick it can happen. All right? So, with that said, tomorrow, I got a feeling they're going to have a packed house. All right? Because of the Legends of the Force is just so anticipated. But anyway, these are our events that we are going to be taking a look at. These are our 5 that I know of so far. When we get some information about those entry points for the final round events, I will update that, or hopefully a player will, or one of our On the Play Games Discord members will be able to update us. And then, of course, we've got our Xenergy Gamer and final round RCQs for the Magic players to check out. So, with that said, this is On the Play Games. Whether it's day or night, have a great one. Goodbye.